Hello dear students, in this video I am continuing the next part of human reproduction. It is oogenesis. So like spermatogenesis, the type of the gametogenesis occurring in the females, it is oogenesis. The definition is process of formation of mature female gamete, that is egg. It is called oogenesis. The process of formation of mature female gamete is called oogenesis, and the very important term to remember is it is initiated during embryonic development stage. That means when the female fetus is growing within the womb of mother, during that embryonic stage itself the oogenesis is initiated, and during the embryonic development itself the millions of gamete mother cells. So for spermatogenesis it is referred as spermatogonia, and here with respect to oogenesis, millions of gamete mother cells called oogonia are formed in the fetal ovary. That means in the ovary of developing fetus, when it is still present in the womb of mother, millions of oogonial cells are formed. And another very important term to remember, no more oogonia are formed or added after the birth. Once the female fetus is delivered, fully grown female fetus is delivered, after birth in the ovary of female there is no formation of oogonia, because whatever the number of oogonia are required, all of them are produced during the embryonic developmental stage itself. Once the birth occurs in the female child, there will be no further production of oogonia or the gamete mother cells to produce the egg or ovum. Some of the oogonia which are produced in the ovary, they form primary oocyte. Why the term is oocyte? Because here studying about oogenesis. If it is spermatogenesis, the term is spermatocyte. Some of the oogonia which are produced inside the ovary during the embryonic development stage, they function as primary oocyte, and that oogonia undergoes meiosis and get arrested at the prophase 1. These cells represents primary oocyte. Then question is, how to define primary oocyte? It is the oogonia which has entered into meiosis and arrested at the stage of prophase 1. That means the meiosis division is not completed. Just it has entered the meiosis, which is meiosis 1, and the cell is arrested at prophase 1. Such cells are called primary oocyte, and remember primary oocyte is nothing but it is the oogonium, and it has entered into the meiosis but it has arrested at the stage of prophase 1. So now the terms are, each primary oocyte gets surrounded by a layer of granulosa cells, and now it is called primary follicle. What is the difference between primary oocyte and primary follicle? Primary oocyte is the structure which is developing from oogonium and arrested at the prophase 1. The same primary oocyte, when it gets surrounded by granulosa cells, it is called primary follicle. Without granulosa cells, the structure is referred as primary oocyte. When primary oocyte is surrounded by granulosa cells, it is called primary follicle. A large number of primary follicles get generated between birth and puberty, because before birth of the female child only the oogonia are completely produced. Millions of oogonia are produced within the fetus ovary. After birth, what happens? These oogonial cells or primary follicles, they undergo maturity to produce the egg. But what happens? Maximum primary follicles, they are generated from the period of birth to attaining the sexual maturity, that is nothing but puberty. What is primary follicle? It is the primary oocyte surrounded by a layer of granulosa cells. And these primary follicles, they have to undergo proliferation. Proliferation means structural change. Primary follicle is converted into secondary follicle. Secondary follicle is converted into tertiary follicle. And tertiary follicle is converted into mature Graafian follicle. And in that mature Graafian follicle, the female gamete egg is present. This conversion occurs at the time of puberty. Remember, already in the ovary of female baby, the primary follicles are produced, and these primary follicles, they undergo conversion when that girl reaches the stage of puberty. But number of follicles are degenerated. Then finally, at puberty, how many primary follicles remain in the ovary? Answer is from 60,000 to 80,000. Million number is reduced to 60,000 to 80,000. Only this much of primary follicles, they are left in the ovary of female at the stage of puberty. When female reaches the stage of puberty, in her ovary, what is the number of primary follicles? Answer is 60,000 to 80,000. So moving to the next one, the primary follicle, now it is getting surrounded by more layer of granulosa cells as well as new membranes called theca, and this structure is called secondary follicle. Let me clear the three terms. Primary oocyte, it is the oogonium entered into the meiosis and arrested at the prophase 1. When primary oocyte is surrounded by granulosa cells, it is primary follicle. When primary follicle is surrounded by more layers of granulosa as well as theca, means new layers. When the theca formation occurs, the structure is defined as secondary follicle. Oogonia, primary oocyte, primary follicle, and primary follicle, when it is surrounded by more granulosa cells and theca, it is called secondary follicle. Then the secondary follicle gives rise to the development of tertiary follicle, and the tertiary follicle is characterized by the presence of a fluid filled cavity called antrum. See, you can see the changes. What are the things that I am explaining? This is the transverse section of ovary. Here you can see the smaller cells. They are primary follicles. Primary follicles are growing. Their conversion into secondary follicle and secondary to tertiary to mature follicle, it is influenced by a pituitary hormone called FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. This follicle stimulating hormone, it converts the primary follicle into secondary follicle into tertiary follicle. So primary follicle is covered by a granulosa layer. Secondary follicle is covered by granulosa as well as theca. When secondary follicle develops, here you can see the cavity. Inside the secondary follicle, when a fluid filled cavity develops, it is called the tertiary follicle. That means tertiary follicle contains granulosa cells, theca, as well as a fluid filled cavity called antrum. And at the stage of tertiary follicle, the theca is originated into two layers. Here the two distinct layers can be seen. Inner one is called theca interna and outer one is called theca externa. Differentiation of the theca into two layers, it is very evident at the stage of tertiary follicle. So oogonium gives rise to the formation of primary oocyte, which is arrested at the prophase 1. When primary oocyte is surrounded by granulosa, it is primary follicle. When primary follicle is surrounded by the granulosa as well as theca, it is secondary follicle. And when secondary follicle develops a fluid filled cavity called antrum with the two distinct theca layers, theca interna and theca externa, it is nothing but tertiary follicle. So here the primary oocyte, now it is growing in size and now it completes first meiotic division. And first meiotic division is unequal, forming a large secondary oocyte and a tiny first polar body. Division of the primary oocyte is unequal. It produces one large cell called secondary oocyte and a small structure called first polar body. The secondary oocyte retains much nutrient and rich in cytoplasm. That is why its size is bigger. The tertiary follicle changes into mature Graafian follicle. What is the name for mature follicle? It is Graafian follicle. And now the secondary oocyte, which is growing inside the Graafian follicle, it forms a new layer around itself called zona pellucida, and it is called zona pellucida. The Graafian follicle now ruptures to release the secondary oocyte from the ovary by the process called ovulation. So secondary follicle, when it contains the fluid filled cavity antrum, when it shows theca interna and theca externa, it is tertiary follicle. Once the tertiary follicle becomes the primary oocyte, inside that tertiary follicle, it completes the first meiosis and it is unequal division, forming a large secondary oocyte and a small polar body. The secondary oocyte, its structure is larger because it contains more nutrient and cytoplasm. Now the tertiary follicle changes, it is attaining maturity and it is transformed into Graafian follicle. The secondary oocyte forms a new layer around itself called zona pellucida. Inside the Graafian follicle, this is the structure of Graafian follicle, and the cell which is present inside the Graafian follicle is nothing but secondary oocyte. That you have to remember very importantly. And this secondary oocyte, when it is released from the Graafian follicle, the Graafian follicle ruptures When Graafian follicle ruptures, it releases the secondary oocyte from the ovary. Process is called ovulation. Very, very important 1 mark question. Define ovulation, or what is ovulation? The release of secondary oocyte due to rupturing of Graafian follicle from the ovary. The process is called ovulation. And remember, the ovulation is influenced by the pituitary hormone LH, that is luteinizing hormone. So here, this is follicle near the maturity, and here it is mature Graafian follicle, because the growth is completed. When this Graafian follicle ruptures, it releases the egg or ovum, which is at secondary oocyte stage, which is in the secondary oocyte stage. Once the Graafian follicle ruptures and ovulation is completed, the Graafian follicle is transformed into irregular structure called corpus luteum, and this corpus luteum secretes a hormone progesterone. After the rupturing of Graafian follicle, which structure is produced? Answer is corpus luteum, and corpus luteum secretes a hormone called progesterone. This is how the changes occur in the structure of primary follicle to produce the female gamete egg during oogenesis. It is schematic representation of oogenesis. Again 3 mark question. The schematic representation of spermatogenesis as well as oogenesis, both of them are important. It is initiated by a oogonium, which increases its number by the mitosis. The chromosome number in the primary oocyte is 46. In the oogonium as well as primary oocyte is 46, because it is dividing through the mitosis. This primary oocyte completes the first meiosis and gives rise to the formation of 2 structures. Larger one is the secondary oocyte and smaller one is the first polar body, and both of them are the haploid structures. They contain 23 chromosomes. Secondary oocyte also undergo the unequal division and gives rise to the formation of female gamete egg, and this is the second polar body produced from secondary oocyte. Not only secondary oocyte is undergoing the division, it is not mentioned in the schematic representation. From the first polar body also 2 more polar bodies are produced. So at the end of oogenesis, totally 3 polar bodies and 1 egg is produced, and this egg is developing inside the follicle cell. When the development is completed, the mature follicle is called Graafian follicle, and from this one egg is released at the secondary oocyte stage. So when ovulation is completed, remember the egg which is released from the Graafian follicle, it is in the secondary oocyte stage. So these are the things that I wanted to explain with respect to oogenesis. I hope it is clear for you. Thank you.